Welcome to Insight Support Groups at Insight Wellness Center. I'm Dr. Katerina Rozakis, and today I want to introduce someone very special who's coming all the way from Athens, Greece, broadcasting to tell us a little bit about her support groups. We're going to be talking specifically today about anxiety and teens and why it's important to be attending a support group. I'd like to share a little bit about Alexandra with you. Alexandra has her master's degree in psychology. She's a mental health counselor. She's a psychologist, and she studies. She studied abroad. She's bilingual. She speaks English and Greek, and she is working with Insight Wellness Center globally to see patients individually and through group. Alexandra likes to play sports. She likes soccer. She enjoys her leisure time in the beach. I'd like to introduce you to her today. So everybody help me say hello to Alexandra.
Hi, everyone. Good to be here.
Hi, Alexandra. It's good to see you today. I'm really excited about this topic more than anything because we have noticed since the pandemic an increase of patient calling in for therapy, counseling at Insight Wellness Center, and it has a lot to do with kids and teenagers. Typically, we'll see more adults calling in, but now we have the teenagers actually calling in themselves, and parents and schools, and we're inundated with a pandemic of anxiety, which I think is coming off the feet of COVID, having to acculturate back into school, struggling with recommunicating. You're running a group called Love Languages, and I think that has a lot to do not just with love, but how do we communicate with our friends now that we're back in school. There are kids who are anxious about leaving their homes. Or they have anxiety that's undifferentiated. They just don't really know why they're feeling anxious. So you have decided to run a support group. It's called Teens Anxiety Support Group. Can you tell me, why is a teen anxiety support group important from your perspective, and why are you doing it at this time?
Yeah, of course. So it's important just because I think we've seen like you said, a big spike in anxiety amongst teens. I think it was kind of always present. We're just giving a lot more attention, which is really great, in my opinion. Especially as a therapist, it's been really important to talk about anxiety and how we can work through it. With teens especially, they're going through a transitionary period. It's something that new. Maybe moving schools from middle school to high school. Finding all these new things in this new environment. It's just really important to kind of understand the anxieties that we face, why we're facing them, and how we can help them, how we can manage the anxiety, how we can decrease it, what ways we can do that. And I think it's really important, especially in support groups, that we find others that relate to the same issue as well. So that we don't feel like we're alone, especially teens. This feeling of belongingness is something that's really, really important. So joining a group where you're connecting with other teens and kind of speaking about all of that, that's kind of how it helps. So.
Well, that was going to be my next question. How do groups help, people? And we're talking about teens, and so it's very, very similar. And so do you want to give me an example and let our audience know a little bit about why groups, are used? How can they be used along with psychotherapy or counseling, or alone?
Yeah, of course. Groups have an added bonus just because there's other people in the group. So one-on-one therapy obviously is very, very helpful. But with the group, there's an added element of shared experiences. So sharing your experience with others and understanding how others relate to it, or how others have maybe gone through something similar and how they've dealt with whatever that issue is. It's really important because we find this sense of relatability. We find a sense of connection in groups. And I think that's what's really important. Again, like you said, in the time of COVID, where we had this disconnect, it's kind of nice to come back now and connect with others and share our experiences in that way.
Alexandra, how do you feel people are going to benefit in a sense in regards to their level of anxiety? Do you feel like they're going to feel less anxiety? Is this something that people can attend, maybe expecting to have relief? Is there a certain approach? I know you studied and you like to use cognitive behavioral interventions. Is this something that you're going to be using a psychodynamic approach in the group so that when people attend, it's not just the connection that they're going to have, but maybe they'll step away with some skills?
Yeah, of course. So in the group as well, we're definitely going to learn some skills. Especially like you said, I really like using techniques with anxiety, which has been proven to help. The CBT techniques, so things like breathing exercises, muscle relaxation, distraction techniques. There's all kinds of different tools that we can use that when we're feeling anxious in the moment, to help kind of decrease them as well. And then also, it's a little bit more of an integrated approach since it's a group as well. Like I said before, kind of helping each other figure things out as well. There's a lot of interaction in group settings, so hearing other people's experiences and how they relate can also help with decreasing the anxieties. And also in the group too, you're creating connections as well, so it can help with the not feeling so alone and connecting with other people as well.
Great. And what is the age group appropriate for this group?
So any teens, so from 13, 14 up until 18, 19, into the early adulthood kind of transitionary period. Again, there's different sections of transitionary period, so it's helpful sometimes when the group itself is in the same I guess period of time that they're experiencing kind of similar things as well. So yeah, around the time when people are entering high school and leaving high school, kind of figuring out those types of transitions as well.
And this is not gender specific. This is for
No.
any everybody. And
Yes.
how many people are usually in the group?
So a good number is around 8 to 12 people in the group, just so they have enough time to and space to express their concerns and questions and things like that, and have enough time to talk. So yeah.
And how long is the group? How long does that run for approximately?
So the groups are 8 weeks.
And how long is it? An hour and a half, or?
Yes, for an hour and a half. Again, because of the group sizes, it kind of helps to have a bit more time. So 8 weeks, hour and a half every week.
So the good news is because everybody's got either something to do on a Saturday, like a sport or a recreation, hopefully, and then people are in school early and then homework in the afternoon, that you're going to be doing these on Sunday.
Yes.
Sunday morning in California. And of course, you're doing them across the whole globe. So it offers us an opportunity to start at somewhere around, I guess, noon or 11. It'll be posted on our website at the time that it starts. And so if it starts at 11 here, it'll be probably at 2 o'clock, maybe in New York, then London, of course, Athens. It's going to be nighttime for you, which is really afternoon for us because you guys stay up late, which is wonderful. And I'm really happy to hear that you're invested in doing that. What is your passion, in doing that? I mean, that's wonderful that you're going to be offering and adjusting your work time so that the teens can join.
Yeah, I just think I love working with teens and young adults. I feel like it's, in an early period of time when we can kind of really start to understand ourselves more. And when we do that at a younger age, it can kind of help us throughout our whole lives. So it's really an age group that I'm really, really passionate about working with and kind of helping decrease that so that they can have better mental health throughout their entire lives and building better connections and knowing more about themselves from early on. So it's something that I really, really like doing. So
That's really key. If we can learn the skills when we're young, it's going to save us so much later when we're older. I know before therapy was popular, people didn't learn the skills until later in life, most recently. And now everybody's embarking on, improving their lives. And there's so many skills and techniques. So I'm really happy that you're tackling that, at a younger age, and you're sharing and teaching and treating, individuals in that age group. You're also individually outside of the group seeing slightly younger kids, not too young, probably 7 or 8 and above. Individually.
Yep.
And Alexandra also sees adults, young adults, and middle-aged adults, and some seniors, but primarily adults and youth. A lot of people who call about the group may have some interpersonal issues. They're not ready to share in a group, which is okay. You can let us know when you call in to register at our website, whether you want to see Alexandra individually or you want to see her in a group. The best way to register for the group is to go to insightforwellness.com at the groups page. You can call us at 925-216-3510 if you're in the United States. Otherwise, for everybody in the United States or out of the country, insightforwellness.com also has a contact us page. And we'll be able to connect you for group and for individual. Alexandra, thank you so much for joining us today. We're very happy for you to share your insights with the world. And if anybody has any questions, they know where to find us. You have a few more upcoming groups. You're doing the love language groups. So please join our other show for love languages to learn more about that, or you can find more information on insightforwellness.com. And Alexandra also works with individuals who are moving from one country to another and they need to learn to adapt or acculturate. She is bilingual, so she also works with the Greek population when they're transitioning their lives and with expats. And so we're very happy to have her as part of our global team satellite office in Greece for Insight for Wellness. Thank you so much, Alexandra. Have a great day.
Thank you so much for having me.
Bye-bye, everybody.